23 makeup products that I've been testing and giving you my final thoughts on them. If you are new to my speed review series, I have a drawer where every single item that I try gets put in this drawer that I sit in front of every single day, and I keep that product in my drawer until I've used that product in multiple ways, multiple wear tests with multiple other products, and once I feel ready to give my final thoughts on it, I put it in where we are sitting right now watching a speed reviews video. So if you want to see my final thoughts on 23 products that I've talked about in the past, you're in the right place. Let's go. We have a small one today because December I haven't really been trying new makeup. It's a big roundup and declutter and giving my it's finishing with a bow all of the products I've tried throughout the year kind of month. But I had some products sitting in my speed reviews drawer that frankly I was just ready to give you my thoughts on. I'm ready to get these back in general population, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first product that I have is from Essence. It's their Magic Filter Glow Booster. I have mine in the shade 20 medium. So this is that Charlotte Tilbury flawless filter style of product that every brand seems to have nowadays. I actually really like this. This I think is one of my favorite ones from the drugstore, and you know Essence, they're very, very affordable. One of the most affordable drugstore brands actually. I like to use, because I'm using the shade medium all over my face, it's not too glowy and it has a hydration to the skin that it leaves behind. I put it on this side. I'm just like trying to see if I notice a difference today because I didn't put it on this side of my face. Underneath my foundation, no, but when it comes to using a skin tint, that's when this glow is going to come through. And honestly, it's pretty enough to where I don't need a foundation or skin tint over top. I definitely need concealer and powder to just make it look better. But I really, really like this. It doesn't feel too heavy. It's not too glowy, but it's also not too flat. So there is a purpose to it. It does give a little bit of evening out if you get the right shade. It's really, really nice. I love the consistency of it and the hydration that it gives on dry skin. Really nice, very underrated. Okay, so this one, it was not looking promising the first video that I did on this. It's the Florisis Flawless Jade Breathable Longwear Cushion Foundation. Now, of course, when it comes to these Asian beauty brands, crap, horrible, terrible shade range. So even I kind of struggled to find a shade that worked for me. I ended up with N30 Bathing Beauty. It's a tad light, but once it settles into the skin, and I think once you get some bronzer and other products surrounding the face, it looks pretty good on me, and I like how this sits. When the shade is too light, I can tell the foundation has a little bit of a chance to kind of stick to the dry patches, but I feel like this is a foundation that looks better with wear. So as it settles into my skin, it looks a lot more natural. I mean, I think my skin looks super duper nice today, and this is not fresh. It is 6:30. I put this on at 2 o'clock, so we're almost 5 hours into the day, and my skin looks pretty flawless. It feels hydrated. It gives a medium coverage, like light to medium, but you can build it up. And if you pair it with the right concealer, it looks like a true medium coverage foundation. I really like this. I think it's nice. Now, is it like a groundbreaking all-time favorite product? No, but it feels nice and hydrating and flexible on the skin, not too heavy. And I feel like it looks really smooth. When I've been walking past the mirror all day today, and every time I wear this, I'm always like giving it the thumbs up. So the first wear, the color that I used was just too light, so I was very unsure because when you go lighter with a base product, it can look drying and emphasize areas that you don't really want emphasized. But with a full face, a better color, I like the finish, and it looks a little bit not glowy, but it's not flat. It's that perfect kind of skin level of glow, which I really love. Super natural. I've already talked about this so much. I haven't gotten it out of my speed reviews drawer yet, and I've been wanting to, so I can put it in my general population. This is from Bare Minerals. It's the Bare Pro All Over Skin Perfecting Matte Concealer. Probably my favorite concealer I've tried all year. I mean, it is competing with the Danessa Myricks, but this is the best, most long-wearing concealer. 4 hours in, it hasn't moved into any extra creases on my under eyes. Super full coverage. It is matte, but it's very perfecting, and because it's matte, it stays all day. It doesn't look dry and crinkly like some matte concealers. This one just stays put, stays where it's at. I mean, it's heavy duty. I look like I'm wearing makeup when I use this concealer, but it is certainly one of the most like beat snatched concealers I've ever used. Love this. If you're gonna get one thing from this video, it should be this. I think this is my favorite, most game-changing product in today's video. That good. The next product that I have is from Makeup Forever. I have a few shades and I was not going to keep them all, but then I realized how good this product is, so I think I'm going to keep them all. So this is their HD Skin Setting Powder. I believe they've reformulated and repackaged this in the last few months, and it is beautiful. Now, it's not for the faint of heart. If you are a natural makeup girl, this might be a little bit too much for you, and I will admit, on my dry skin, it is a bit much for my dry skin, but the way that this locks makeup in, and it also is very blurring, very smoothing, let me tell you, between this concealer and this powder, indestructible. Like, my makeup is going to look like this for 24 hours, I'm convinced. Those two together are a match made in heaven for long wear glam, let me tell you. But I like this better than the original. In fact, I love this powder, and it's very, very hard for me to love a powder because I am so loyal to my favorite loose powders, but this one has tested my loyalty, and I'm kind of going in the way of using this. This is going to be a regular in my rotation from now on for sure. I've been loving that powder. This is not a new product, but I did pick this up recently because I hadn't tried it yet from Laura Mercier, and I am a Laura Mercier stan. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder. I picked up the shade Bronze 02. It's very, very warm, but it's very, very silky. I mean, I'm going to say it's not going to be an all-time favorite bronzer of mine, but what I like about it is how light and silky it is. So if I don't want a bronzer that's going to kind of stick to the skin, I want it to softly glaze over the edges of my face, which in most scenarios is going to be when I use a cream bronzer. This has that perfect silkiness to just glaze over the cream bronzer instead of catching onto it. So that's when I like to use this. This shade is a pure bronzer. It has a lot of warmth to it, which isn't always what I want. I don't normally really like a super warm outer part of my face. Nothing against it and nothing wrong with that, but I tend to wear more cooler tones, neutral leaning cool, not neutral leaning warm. So this sometimes can look a bit odd, but that's a personal preference. But just know that if you do pick up the shade, I like it, it's nice, but I do have a lot of other great powder bronzers as well, so it's not like this life-changing product. I have a couple liquid/cream blushes. The first one is from Huda Beauty. It was from her most recent Icy Nude collection. So this is the blush filter in the shade Latte, and she advertised this as a bronzer. And I know it's also like supposed to be blush, but it definitely leaned much more blushy than I was expecting. I think it could have been just a hint more cool to be more of a true bronzer, because this is like a natural bleed from bronzer to blush, but I think it could have been a little bit more bronzer than blush, if you know what I'm saying. It's very, very warm, but it is very pretty. This is a really silky, easy to use, lightweight formulation. No notes on that whatsoever, but it was a little different than what I was expecting, but it's still a beautiful formula. The next product that I have is from Milani. It's the Cheek Kiss Blush Stick. The more that I've used this, I have to admit, the less that I've liked it. I'm reaching for the powder version of this over this stick formulation because it's just not as nice as other stick blushes that I have. It really gives drugstore quality, like you get what you paid for kind of situation. It gets the job done. It's very soft. It does have that sheer kind of golden glow that the Luminoso shade is known for, but it also kind of looks a little thick on my skin. It looks a little clumpy, doesn't react great with powder. So it's not like horrible. When I put it on, I'll wear it for the day, no issue, but I do know I have a lot better products in my collection, so it's like meh for me. If I took you to the drugstore, I probably wouldn't recommend that you pick this up. a couple of powder blush formulations, which happens to be from two creator brands, so I'm excited to support them here. So the first blush formulation that I've tried is from Singe Beauty, which is Angelica Nikas brand, and these are very, very unique blush colors, but in a good way. They're still very wearable. I am addicted to the shade Risky Raisin, even though it is very clearly too deep for me. I have to use the lightest touch possible. These are like a matte formulation, but they do have a little bit of a silkiness to them, so they're not like a drying matte. They give a little bit of life to the cheek too. It's a very pretty finish. I mean, you still have this one, which is a very pretty pink. These do pack a big punch of pigment, so do use a light hand. One major pro about this formula that I've noticed that I think makes it stand out to other formulations, the longevity on these are kind of insane. You know how powder blushes have a tendency to fade? These stay as vibrant as you apply them in the beginning of the day to all the way to the end of the day. So for me, the strong suit on these is most definitely longevity. And then we also have Ali Glein's beauty brand, Rephr. This is giving hourglass, right? With the veining, the baked formulation. Another beautiful formulation, like comparing these, and I don't want to compare these brands, but these are two very different formulations. You know, Singe Beauty is going to give you that pigment. It's going to give more of a flatter finish, whereas the Rephr Beauty is kind of formulated to be a little bit more sheer, a little bit more buildable, a little bit more natural. This has a little bit more of a luminosity to it. So two very different formulations, but two very beautiful formulas. This one is beautiful because I do love how it builds up in color. We have three very natural colors that I think are going to flatter a lot of different skin tones. You know, powder blushes are kind of hard to describe how they are formulated. There's only so many ways to formulate a blush, but this one is also nice. And I like how those two are very different formulations that offer different things for different preferences. I have two blush palettes, or cheek palettes if you will, from Florasis, which these are absolutely my favorite things that Florasis has launched in a while. Like, I can't remember loving a product from them so much. So these are the Eastern Beast Sculpting Makeup Palettes, and unfortunately, you know, I would think that only one would be for me because one is very clearly for lighter skin tones and one is very clearly for deeper skin tones, but I love picking colors from both. Now, the biggest pro, what I've been loving the most about this palette, both of them, is there's a matte light shade, which is the most amazing brightening color. A lot of times these brightening colors, they don't really do a good job of brightening, but this one really delivers. I mean, this is the lighter one, but the one in the deeper palette also delivers that instant brightness. This plays no games. If you want brightness under the eyes, this is going to give this to you. And I was irresponsible and put more than I wanted. It was not supposed to go this bright, but I just wanted to show you this is one of the best brightening powders ever if you truly need something brightened. Not to mention, you know, the contour shades are nice. They're not my favorite formulation, but they do the work. There's a blush shade in both, which is nice, and I think the highlighter is my second favorite formula. That's what's giving my glow today. So I've used these all the time because they truly are a good addition to a makeup routine. I'm kind of mad though. Why did I put this bright so low? We're going to just have to ignore that. I got a little too carried away. I need to put some color over. That was also a bad choice. Okay, anyways, it brightens, and that's what matters. That's the point that I was trying to get across. Okay, I tried to fix it, and I made it worse, so we're just gonna keep it going. It's fine. You know what I noticed about this palette, though, as I was attempting to fix my makeup? Isn't it weird that the darkest palette has the lightest brightener, and the light palette has the medium brightener? Also, I didn't put this on camera, but I did use both of those palettes for like my really neutral eyeshadow. I used the darker bronzer even for my eyeliner today, so you can use them on the eyes too. I love them, even though I went a little crazy with the brightening powder. Okay, last product for Complexion is this setting spray, which has been sitting in this drawer for a while. Let me tell you why. So this is the Half Magic Dew Lock Hydrating Set and Refresh Mist. And the reason this has been in my drawer for so long is because every time I use it, I feel like, I don't know if it does anything. I drench my face in it and I can't tell a difference between before and after. So I've kept it longer until I could have some notes of what it actually does, but I think the note is I don't know. I don't know what this does. I don't think it does anything besides wet my face for a second and then it dries and everything's back to normal. So I wouldn't recommend this. It's not one that gives me that instantaneous result that I tend to love to have with the setting spray. We have a grand total of one product in all of the eye category. I don't know how that happened, but it is a mascara from M Cosmetics. What's the official name? The Shape Shift Tubing Mascara, and I do have to say my lashes look pretty nice. Now this mascara does a great job at separation. It does add some length as well, and the best part is that it is a tubing mascara, meaning you get it off with water. Now this is a little bit of a tricky one. I feel like it just doesn't fall off as the water hits it, so it does take a little bit of working out. So I don't really love taking this off, but it is a tubing mascara and it will come off in tubes when taken off with water. But I think that this has a really nice hold to the eyelashes, and as somebody with Asian lashes, it is an Asian owned brand after all. I think that this is a very, very nice mascara. I would repurchase this. I think it's awesome. That's it for eyes. Let's move on to the lips. So first I have a conditioning lip mask. I feel like this is one of the most popular categories of products for 2024. So this one is actually very good. It's interesting though. This is from Sigma Beauty. It's the conditioning lip mask. I like the packaging of it. It's simple, but it does have the metal tip, which is cooling. This is a very, very thick lip mask. So I would mostly recommend it before bed because then you know it's going to stick to the lips. The biggest downfall to this is that it's sticky. So my hair does stick to it, which is also why I don't want to wear this in the daytime. It can get all over my face in the night. I don't care. But I like it because of its stickiness. It stays on overnight and it is quite hydrating, but I do not like this because it's too thick and sticky for the daytime. So should be an overnight lip mask, if you ask me. That's how I've preferred to use it. I keep looking at the white splotches on my face and I am very bothered. Next up, I have two lip kits from ColourPop from their Winter Frosty the Snowman collection. I don't know what it is about ColourPop and winter collections, but they kill it every year. That and Halloween collections. So the one that I've used the most and loved the most is the Snow Much Fun duo. And I love these. I always keep these limited edition ones because they always have the cutest packaging. So the Snow Much Fun is just this really pretty red shade, very wintertime appropriate. I think that these are like the best stocking stuffers. They're cute, the packaging is nice, limited edition, and it's just a kit you want to keep even with the packaging. Now, I love the color, and I like the quality of ColourPop lip products. My one critique with this being such a dark shade is it's not as long lasting as I would like. You know, if I'm investing in a dark lip color and taking that risk for the evening, I kind of want it to stay for a long time. It's not bad, but that would be my note of what I would want to change with it. And then the other one that came in the collection is Happy Jolly Fun. This one is much more wearable. It's the same exact packaging. I feel like these are more generic colors, so I haven't reached for this one as much. And with these being lighter, they last even less of a time, so that wear time is even worse. I use other products over this, and I'm grabbing for that Snow Much Fun over this one lately, so I like this one less. These have been in my drawer for a while. I don't know why, because they're great. So we have the Trixie Cosmetics Lip Sync Gel Lip Liners, as well as the adorable matte lipsticks that launched. And these are corresponding colors. So there's like a Work Wife lipstick and a Work Wife lip liner. And by the way, Work Wife is my favorite color. I highly, highly recommend that. So the matte lip liners are very, very creamy, but they do set down. They aren't like the most bulletproof lip liner, but they have a very, very good longevity to them. And I really like the application. I think these are super nice. And then the matte lipsticks. I mean, they're matte. They can read a little drying sometimes, but the combination of these two are going to equate to such a long-lasting lip. Every time I've worn the lip liner lipstick duo here, I have been so impressed by how long my lips lasted. Now, if you ask me, Work Wife is kind of the perfect fall lip color. Right now, oh my gosh, the color you have to try. Made in France. Ooh. Fashionably Late is the red lip that I'm wearing today. How pretty is this? It's red, but it's more of a muted red. You know, it's a little bit deeper. I really, really love that this isn't too, like, neon. I don't even need to touch up. I don't know why I am. I just love this lip combo. And I have thoroughly enjoyed having these in my speed reviews drawer because I just love having that matching combo and knowing that they're going to last all day. Especially when it comes to these deeper shades. Like I mentioned before, this is kind of the longevity that I was looking more so for from the ColourPop. And they really did it. I love the neutral makeup with a bolder lip for the holidays right now. I'm gonna keep wearing these red lips. It just, 'tis the season. You know, I'm not really as confident to wear colors like this really anytime for the rest of the year, so I'm enjoying it for sure. And this is that perfect, like, a little burnt, a little bit more neutral red. Super lovely. I also have been using this lipstick from Merit in the shade Maison. It's definitely a good wearable kind of fall lip. So it gives a little bit more depth, but it's still super wearable. And depending on what lip liner you wear it with, it depends on the overall look. But it's like a really pretty, warm, blushy shade. A little bit deeper. It looks like a little bit of blood has rushed to your lips. It's really pretty. But what's gorgeous about this formula is you can pat it on the lips and get a super natural flush to the lips with this as well. It doesn't need to be a deep color. It's a matte finish from Merit. And if you haven't heard me say it, in terms of like the high-end market, Merit has the best lipsticks. Between the luxurious packaging and the luxurious formulation, I think it's a very well-priced lipstick for what you get. I also have been rocking a MAC lipstick, and it's an OG color, Blankety, and this is like the perfect light nude lip. It's so versatile with what lip liners it can be worn with, and obviously this is not a new product whatsoever. It's kind of a classic, very iconic, but I did get sent this amazing lip package from MAC. There's so many amazing colors, but immediately my eyes went to Blankety and I had to put it on my lips right away. And it's a great formula. MAC throws down a good lipstick and I love this nude. Rephr Beauty also launched 3 new shades of their Effortless lips, and they're kind of supposed to be good for all skin tones, but of course we have a super light shade, a medium shade, and a deeper shade. So I do prefer a darker lip liner with a lighter center of the lip. So I've been rocking Daisy a lot. If you ask me, this one's just a tad too sheer for my liking, but it's a beautiful formula, very hydrating. The shade Zinnia, I am sorry if I mispronounce that, is the most pretty kind of mauve-y shade, which is very much my vibe. This is very pretty with a purple lip. And then I haven't used, I'll be honest, too much of Verbena, just because it has some depth there, but it don't let the color freak you out here. It's a buildable formulation. All of these start off with a very little amount of pigment, and what is beautiful about this formula is you do have the ability to build these up. They have a little bit of glow on the lips. Really a great everyday kind of lip formulation. From Rhode, they did launch, I know they have a peppermint one. I haven't tried that. But before that, they launched Cinnamon Roll. And this one left me very intrigued because, one, I'm a foodie. Name a product after food and I'm going to love it. It doesn't smell a cinnamon roll, but it smells good. It has a good, like, caramely fragrance to it. What intrigued me about this one is there's a little bit of glitter flecks in there, went a little crazy. They aren't too noticeable on the lips, but they are there, and this does give a nice light brown glaze over the lips. still super duper light. I mean, I love this formula from Rhode, and this with a taupey lip liner is an unbelievable brown lip for fall. Like, if I put this on right now with the shirt that I'm wearing, give me like contour from MAC, and this, it would be the most beautiful monochromatic look. And I love this formula, so I really like this color too. I wish maybe it had a little bit more pigment and a little bit more glimmer, but that's just me. So the last product that I have for today's video are the Nabla Lip Candy Lip Oils. One of mine kept leaking, so I just threw it away. These do have quite a glassy look on the lips, but they do have too thin of a formulation for my preferences. I also don't find that they last very long. I feel like they kind of slip and slide over the lips. So these are not my favorite, if I'm to be honest. There's just a lot of other lip oils that I prefer. It has a thinner applicator that has kind of like an hourglass figure to it, which I very much like for application. Which one is this? Honey? It does smell like honey. I do like the fragrance of these. And this one right here, Grape, has the most yummy fragrance. I'm loving how these lip oils that have come out have all of these amazing, super artificial fragrances. And I mean that in a good way. I think they smell super good and very nostalgic. You know how those rollerball were they lip smackers? You know what I'm talking about. The rollerball lip glosses that had all kinds of flavors. That's what the smell of these remind me of. But in terms of lip oil formulation, other than the exciting scent, not very into it. Whew, and there we have it, you guys. Those are my final thoughts on 23 of the most recent products that have been in my Speed Reviews makeup drawer that I have been using almost daily, at least one of these products. So I'm happy I could give you guys my final review on these. If you've tried any of these products, I would love to hear your opinion down below, especially if you are a different complexion than myself, have a different skin type than myself. I love when you guys share your experiences on products, even if they're opposing from me. I love to take note of that when it comes to my reviews as well, to share that, you know what, maybe not everybody loves this, or sometimes there's a product that I don't get a single hate comment for, and I mentioned that as well. So please, it would be very helpful to me and the others in the comments. I would appreciate that. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the almost daily uploads. I've skipped a few days, but that's because some of my videos have been like over an hour long. So in order to get the quality editing, you know, we need an extra day sometimes. But for the most part, like, we've been rocking and rolling. And I've been having a lot of fun. And I hope that you guys have too. So I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Make sure you comment any questions, comments, concerns that you might have. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh my gosh, you guys, guess what tomorrow is? Palette declutter day. It'll be a long ride. Okay, I need to go nap then. See you later.
It's delicious.